life's looking good, but then you still have to go through the submission process. These jokers at publishing houses still have to weigh on, why the agent already said it's good, just publish it, don't worry about it. So
Yeah.
how long does that submission process take then?
Well, it was a bit longer for me. So she signed me and I hadn't finished Mangoes at the time because I'd only written one chapter. And remember I went away on holiday and I just had this great idea of this fantasy YA book that I decided to write. I'd pitched it to her, I think. I can't remember how that story goes, but I wrote this story on holiday. I came back and she sent that out. We worked on it for a while, and then she sent it out and we didn't get anything back. No interest at all. And I remember just feeling completely gutted and thinking that was my one chance and I'm not going to get another one. And is this over? Just completely questioning, is this over? Because I didn't have anything else to pitch. And I went away and felt really sorry for myself for a while, for a really long time. And then I dusted myself off and thought, I'm always writing stories. I have lots of ideas. I have lots of short stories. Let me go into my documents, see what I've got, and see if there's something there that I can work on. And that's when I found that Mangoes chapter, which was called something else at the time. And I remember rereading it and thinking, let me see if I can do something with this. And I sat down and I started writing, and I finished writing and editing it in a month and sent it to my editor. She sent me an email that I sent it to on a Friday evening, and the Friday night she sent me an email saying, oh my God, this is amazing. I'm putting it out as soon as I can. And the following week, she did a little bit of editing with it. Then she sent it out. And I think a week later, we started to get offers.
And so now you're about to be 4 books out in the world here come January. You're on the Middle Grade Ninja podcast. My God, you've made it.
I know, right?
Do you feel that you are definitely an author? You can take some of that worry off that this won't happen? Or is there still that sense of panic that, one, that we're all going to find out you're a fraud, of course, but 2, that this is all going to go away? Is that a concern, or have you found confidence that, no, I'm here to stay?
No, it's constant. It's always constant for me, because for me, it's never guaranteed, I had a 2-book contract. That 2-book came to an end. And then I was panicking what was going to happen next. But luckily, my British editor asked me, do you have something else? And I had an idea in my head, and she accepted it on that idea, which I've just finished the 3 books for that. But you're constantly thinking the contract's going to come to an end at some point. Then what? It's not like it's a forever contract where I'm always going to be guaranteed work. And I never have that confidence where I think, I've brought out a few books now, it should be okay, because it's not really, there's no guarantee at all. I could bring out 6 books, and I think by end of next year, it probably will be 6 books I've brought out. And I'll still be worrying about, then what? What if, then they've had enough, and it's, the next book idea I have, they're not happy, they don't like it and say no. And that's a constant worry for me. At the moment, I'm having a little bit of a break after I've just finished 3 books, but I'm still constantly thinking of ideas. I'm still working on ideas so that when I've come off this break, I can pitch that to my agent, and then we can send that out and see what happens. Because I never relax at all. I never think this is it, I'm here.
Well, that sounds stressful. On the other hand, you can't argue with the results. The books are getting done. So if that motivates you, I don't know that this pain is useful to you, but it does seem to be mostly working out.
Yeah, it's not useful at all. It's a terrible place to be. Who wants to be stressed constantly? Nobody at all. I think that's just part of my personality. I'm always I never think everything's guaranteed. I always feel like I have to constantly be working to stay where I'm at. And I don't think I've ever fully accepted that this is where I'm at. I'm an author now. In my head, I'm always, Kereen trying to write books and hope that somebody will like it.
You're still back in that counselor's office, career.
Yes. Yeah.
Telling you, nope, it's not going to happen. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Just pop out as soon as your publishing contracts dry up and say, I told you.
Yes, exactly. And it's so strange, the things that we hang on to, because my English teacher told me if I do anything with my life, do something with my writing. But that doesn't stick out as strong. I still remember that because I put it in my book in the acknowledgements. But it's sometimes we hang on to the negatives a lot more than we do the positive. And I know for me, a lot of the times, like, I'm constantly thinking of, what if this doesn't work out? What if the next book doesn't work out? What if no one likes it? What if it doesn't work? Instead of thinking, I'm on your podcast. This is a great place to be. Enjoy it. I don't think and I don't know if a lot, how many other authors are like that. I kind of guess probably they are the same, that, you just constantly just thinking, how do I stay here? How do I make sure that I continue this dream that I have?
Something that's a comfort to me and may not be a comfort to you, but I'll share it anyway in hopes that it is, or if not, somebody will hear it and think, well, that's a comfort to me anyway, which will be good. But I do think that the pandemic has had us all reevaluating what matters, what's important to us with the time that we have here. And sometimes I think, is some of this time I've spent writing, I don't regret any of it, but could I maybe start to investigate some other creative outlets as well? And would that make me not an author? And it wouldn't. I publish things. They're available. Banneker Bones and the Giant Robot Bees, esteemed audience. Get your free copy. I will always be an author. You can't. You can say I'm not a good author, but you can't say I'm not one. I am. There's a book. There are books available. And so that calms me down a little bit. I'm very proud of what I've put out in the world and grateful for the opportunity to have been able to do that. And so whatever comes going forward, I'm still happy to have had that. And it calms me a little bit. I don't know if that will work for you, or if no, don't you dare calm me down. I need that fear to write more books.
No, that's a really good. Yeah, I do need to think that way. I have books out, they are published. I am an author. I don't know. I guess I don't know if it's a British thing or what it is. It almost feels like I'm being arrogant, but I'm not. I actually have books out, right? I'm not boasting to say I'm an author. I actually do have books out. It's weird how my brain works. I'm not sure.
I've had enough people that I've bragged to, just regular people who aren't in the writing community. Like, I will never forget, a slight humble brag. I got a blurb from Richard Adams, which was just the biggest thing that could ever happen at the time. And I ran into work and I'm like, oh my God, I got a blurb from Richard Adams. And they went, who? And I said, Watership Down. And they said, what? And they, oh, that creepy cartoon from the 70s. I'm like, well, technically, yes, but my God, there's so much more. And you don't know. So I don't know that non-author people here, I'm an author, has that much of a boost.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, and I know, like, when I almost feel weird about when people say, what do you do for a living? And I go, I write stuff. Because when I've said to people, like, I write books, they're like, oh, you can make a career out of that? And I'm like, no, not really, but we try.
How much money do you make? How famous are you? Just have a book. Stop.
Yeah. I've got a book idea. Would you like to write about it? No, thank you, but thanks.
Seems like you with non-book people, you can either get indifference or almost worse is, oh, I've always wanted to write. It seems pretty easy. I have a book. Will you read it?
Yes. No. Yeah, I get that as well. Yeah. I've got a really good book idea. Would you like to hear it? I have no power in publishing, so that would not work at all.